Welcome to JTOL, Just Thinking Out Loud, where everyday discussion for everyday people are spoken out loud. Now here's your host, Sonia Green.
What it do, everybody. Hello, and welcome to JTOL TV, where I am your host, Sonia Green. I'm gonna have to show that. I just want to move my camera down a little bit because I got all these T-shirts and they're making statements. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I just have to sit back. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But anyway, welcome to JTOL TV, where I am your host, Sonia Green. Listen, welcome. And as we like to say, what's happening, everybody? If you were thinking about it, why aren't we talking about it? And guess what? Here we talk about those things that you and I think about out here on these streets. Listen, do you mind sharing this video or sharing this live? We're just not your average every day that comes on and just talk about stuff. What's up, everybody? We're just not that average people. We're trying to make a difference and impact a people, a generation, a family. We're trying to make a difference, and only we can make a difference if we're not quiet. Listen, as my friend and my sister like to say, using our voice for change. JTOL says, listen, if we're thinking about it, why aren't we talking about it, right? So here we talk about issues concerning you, yourself, and those around the corner, those out here on these streets. Listen, I want to share some exciting news with you. The JTOL TV network is finally up on Roku. So if you can just stop by and like it, we're still building it. We're still creating content for it. And I tell you, if you just go in and in a couple of months, we're going to have some excellent content, some original content on there for you. We got some great stuff that we are really working on putting out here that can benefit us, to shape our lives, change our lives, impact our lives, make us laugh, make us cry, make us do what we do, right? So anyway, so I came on tonight because I've been really wanting to have this conversation, and I had not been able to really have it, if you know what I'm saying. So one of the things, we've had a lot of tragedy in this country within, what, 2 or 3 months? Sorry, 2 or 3 weeks, right? We've had a lot of tragedy and a lot of things that's happening out here on these streets. And most of all, how is it affecting you? How is it affecting your neighbor, your children, your sons, your daughters? How is it affecting you internally? What's your thoughts? How is it affecting our men, our sons, our daughters, our cousins? How is it affecting everyone? We've heard a lot, we've seen a lot. And so I just want to have these discussions and just just bring a different perspective to know that somebody out here is hearing you. Somebody out here is hearing your thoughts, what you're thinking. How is it? What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to continue to run our mouth about it? Are we going to have these simple, same conversations? So today I want to talk about the couple of things I want to talk about. They're still here. Right? I just want to talk about that. And what do I mean by that? I want to show you something that most of the Black men, Black people in this community, when we are stopped by the police, we are oftentimes praying that they don't do anything to us, right? That we are doing and being compliant with everything that they ask us to do. So we want to know why our Black men and our Black daughters and our Black sons and our Black husbands and wives and all things Black are being killed. Why are we being murdered down on the street? And just for nothing, for just having a nice car, right? Just minding our business, right? Just driving down the street, right? Driving in a neighborhood that I know for myself that in Grosse Pointe, I used to drive down that street all the time and imagine, man, if I can just own, I am going to own one of those homes one day, right? We all do that. That's how we build our dreams, our visions. That's how we decide how we make our moves. That decides if we're going to live in this community, how much money we got to have, what we like about this community. So we go into different communities to decide if we want to move there. But every time we drive in these communities that look like we shouldn't be there, but we can be there, most of us are being stopped, harassed, bullied by the popo. So here's another thing. I was watching Grey's Anatomy. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of TV. So this weekend, I decided to catch up on all of my shows that I have DVD. So I was watching this one show from Grey's Anatomy, which I forgot to pull up this particular scene. So one of the doctors, the black doctors, is kicking with this brother who also is a doctor. And this was during the pandemic. He was trying to get back to Seattle Grace, or whatever the name of the hospital is, right? And on his way there, he was riding back from within a rural community in Colorado. These state troopers stopped him. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? They stopped him. He's a doctor. He had the money, he had the credentials. As they like to say, he spoke very articulate. He did everything, complied with everything, put his hands up, told them when he was going to get this, he's pulling this out. But you know what those jokers did? And remind you, now he's moving to Seattle. They pulled everything out of his car because they thought he had some drugs. So he's packed to move to another state with his fiance, and they pulled everything out of his car, and it affected him. I can't even explain how it affected him. If you all saw Grey's Anatomy, you know exactly what I'm speaking about. But I just want to show you this clip here. If y'all don't mind, y'all know I like to say the proof is in the pudding. So I'm gonna set it up. So this particular clip is showing about how when white people are stopped, what happens. So bear with me.
A white guy drives away from police, dragging an officer and striking him with a hammer, but was not shot. It's important to note this event happened in the same state where Daunte Wright was fatally shot by a cop who mistook her taser for a gun. If you want to stay up to date on viral stories like these, please hit that subscribe button down below. Police in Hutchinson, Minnesota were called to a home improvement store because Luke Alvin Uchenbruce refused to wear a mask. Luke hit an employee with a piece of wood before running away. The police found him in a nearby mall parking lot. Luke ran 2 police cars and began to flee the scene with the cops still hanging out the side driver's door. Hutchinson PD says Luke struck his head with a hammer before coming to a stop. He was arrested for first-degree assault and the officer is in stable condition.
Jerry, you're gonna get in trouble. Jerry, they're gonna hurt you. Jerry. Jerry, don't do it. Jerry, don't do it.
The event reminds me so much of a December 2020 incident in Ohio when a white suspect threatened to shoot a police officer before speeding away.
I need you to relax for me, okay?
I will shoot you if this mouse. That's a threat. It's open threat. You have no body cam. You know this.
He has a
My
body
hands are open. My hands are open.
Okay.
My hands are open.
You need to get out of the car
No,
so
I do
we
not.
can remove you
I
from
do
that
not.
weapon.
You cannot. No, it is constitutionally owned. I see that.
Do you have a concealed carry permit?
It is not concealed.
These incidents show how white suspects are treated differently than black suspects. Daunte was shot by the now former cop Kim Potter during a traffic stop over expired tags. Potter claims she intended to use her taser, but accidentally fired her handgun. She's since resigned and was arrested for second-degree manslaughter. The incident has sparked daily protests in Minnesota. What do you think of the white suspect striking a Minnesota cop in the head with a hammer and living to tell the story? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe by hitting my...
Listen, don't subscribe. I thank you, sir, JB Morris, for sharing your video, which I borrowed, and showed and giving him credit for that. Y'all go follow JTOL TV on YouTube. But listen, isn't that interesting? So we see that we had a cop dragged, right? He got hit in the head with a hammer, right? Bagged into 2 cop cars. Did y'all see that guy, the other cop with a pump rifle, right? Didn't do anything. They didn't shoot him. He ran into 3 cars, didn't do anything. Then the second video, it showed that this other guy, he got out his car, beat up the popo, beat up the policeman, right? Beat the policeman up, got in his car, the policeman car, took his car, started it, and took it, right? Drove off in it. And then the third incident we saw where that guy, I know y'all seen that video, where he had a gun sitting out, right? Told him his rights, told him he ain't doing none of those things, and drove off, and they didn't do anything. What's your thoughts about that? And they wonder why African Americans in this country have a problem, why we want to defund the police. We don't want the police not to be patrolling our neighborhood. We pay for our safety, right? Can I get somebody to say, yeah, we pay for our safety, but we do not want, we want to defund the police. We don't need military style weapons in our community, treating our children, our husbands, our wives, our sons, our daughters, like we out here in Iraq fighting. So listen, this is my concern, and here goes the thing. Now I have to say this: the police union. Have you noticed something about the unions? The GOP have tried to dismantle every union except the police union. Can I get anybody to say, yeah, I feel you? Except the police union. They have tried to dismantle every union except the police union. So listen, let me ask you, and here's the reason I'm talking about that, because most police unions have gotten bill passed that don't allow policemen to live in the community where they serve. Detroit used to have that. I wish that there was a way that we can find a loophole or something to or make it happen now, that any new policeman, officer, firefighter, excuse me, EMS, if you work in the city, you have to live in the city. Because when, number one, they don't, and this is just me talking, but by all incidents, now I can't say that about everything. I can't say about Detroit City. I have 2 bad experiences with the city of Detroit. And I asked policemen. So as I often tell you, my dad was a cop. He was a reserve cop, but he had all the full rights of a policeman. He was whatever. He to me, I couldn't tell any difference with what he had on. He had a gun, he everything, right? So here's my thing with this. So I remember this policeman stopped me, and let me just put a comma right there. Just let me put a comma right there. There are good policemen, black and white, and bad policemen, black and white. I just want to make that clear. Caucasian and African American. So let me just go on what I was saying. So this cop, he was known for stopping people and just giving them speeding tickets. And so one day it was snowing real bad, and he stopped me. It was real bad. When I tell you, it was real bad. Went to pick up my daughter from school. On my way home, he said that I was weaving in and out of traffic, and that it was, and so he gave me a ticket. And so when I got up, when I got up there, it was my turn. But let me tell you how many people were in the courtroom. It was over 50 people in that one day that he had gave tickets to. So when he got up there, he told his story. And so I told the judge, I said, Your Honor, I said, I couldn't have been speeding. I said, because it was bad outside. I said, I had my daughter in there. I said, it was so bad that nobody could speed. And so he jumps up and he says, oh, that's right, Your Honor, it was bad outside. The judge hit the gavel and said, your case is dismissed. You should have said that in the beginning. But what I believe that it set it up for other people to show that he is capable of lying. And I have seen policemen. Now, my son-in-law was also set up by the police department. Yes. And they don't have a problem about lying. So I asked the judge, and I'm just asking for my own thoughts. Hey, do you believe everything that a cop says? Do they lie? Do everything that come out their mouth is the truth? And so what I find out is that's why policemen are able to say they resisted arrest. They interfered with arresting somebody. I forgot all the terminology that they use. You know, all these things that they use, I fear for my life. So you have to say, and here go again, you take an oath of office to protect the people that you serve, right? And so in essence, what begins to happen is that the judge is supposed to trust what the words that come out of your mouth. But we're finding that that is not true. Am I right? Can I get anybody to say that is right? Can I just say that? Yep. That's right, Marva. That's right. Absolutely. So in any case, I just think we should have these conversations. I'm going to hit my city council person up, Brenda Lawrence. I mean, not Brenda Lawrence. That's my House of Representative person, United States House of Rep. But I'm going to hit up my, city councilman. I want to know why have there not been anything in our legislation within the city of Detroit that we can say, hey, we need you guys to live in this city. You listen, I don't care if you pay city taxes. I pay city taxes. You need to live here, right? You need to know me. If you know me, you won't hurt me like you do. Okay. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. And I know you all thought the same thing, that it was pretty interesting that all these white people or these Caucasians are doing crazy things, and here there is no filter when it comes to what they do. The guy took his nightstick and just with the bam, bam, whapping him, and two of them trying to fight him, and not one time did you see a gun pulled. Did you see a taser pulled? Not one time. A guy was in a truck, which is considered a murder weapon. They did not shoot him. They didn't do anything to this white man. He was 61 years old and was charged with assault. If that was a black person, an African American, you know what would have happened? He would have been charged with attempted murder. Come on, somebody. So anyway, so I just wanted to you to hear and see that there is a drastic difference when it comes to people of color and then Caucasians. Now, today I had this guy, he's one of my, I'm not going to mention this, but made a comment. I had posted something that I thought was pretty interesting. And the statement was that, forgive me if I don't say it right, but it was something when all men are created equal with the Constitution. And so this person wrote, I'm so sick of everybody talking about basically racism and we don't have any rights. And I said to this person, listen, if you're not black, then you have no right to say anything about me being African American in this country. Now, I want to say to you all, I am learning and trying to train my brain to stop calling us black, because we are not black. We are African Americans. We descend from Africa and we were born in America. So African Americans in this country. So bear with me while I'm training this brain to switch over that language and quit calling white people white. They're Caucasians, right? Or Jewish Americans or Italians Americans, whatever they want to call them, Latino, Latinx. I'm just training my brain. So forgive me and work with me while I work through this process. So anyway, so I think one of us we can do is continue to write to this, write to our legislators and say, hey, why aren't the police required to live in the state, in the city or township that they work in? I think that's something we can do, and we can find something. Listen, all of us may not be brave enough or think about doing anything or don't even care about politics or changing situations in our community. But one thing you can do, you can allow your voice to be heard. You can submit an email, you can make a call, you can give some money to some places that are doing some of the work if you don't want to do it. But our voices have to be heard. And here, I just want to take a station ID. I will be right back. So welcome back to JTOL TV. Listen, I wanted to share with you again, we have a station now on the Roku network. It is called JTOL TV. Please go and find it, become part of the family, be part of the family, be part of the communication of conversation, right? The community of conversation, become part of that family. So anyway, let's move on to the next subject. I wanted to show you all something, and I'm going to set it up again. This is Derek Chauvin's case. And what bothers me and what breaks my heart is seeing the toll and effect that it has upon our Black men. I'll be right back after showing you this clip.
Take a seat. Leave, man. Leave. Is he going to jail? He's under arrest right now for forgery. I'll tell you. Tell me what's going on. Forgery for what? Take him out. For what? Please, man. I can't fucking breathe. Hey, come on out. Look at you. Thank you. Thank you. Get up on the ground. Yeah, on the ground. On the ground. My wrist. Right. You got your restraint? Hobbled? Okay. I can't breathe. I'll grab that. Get him. Jesus. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Thank you. I can't breathe. Stop moving. Mama. Yeah, Mama. Mama. One of the front pouches. Mama. On my right side bag. Mama. You're the rest guy. All right. Oh my God. So now you go to jail. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this, man.
Can we stop it right here, please?
Mama, look.
Mr. McMahon, do you need a minute?
Oh my God. Just take your time. Just know when you're ready.
We'll just give you a moment, Mr. McMahon. I'm not sure if there's water for you as well. Oh. If you need a break to get some water, let me know. We can take a break. May I approach, Your Honor?
You in?
Thank you.
You okay?
Yeah.
I know that this is difficult. Can you just explain sort of what you're feeling in this moment?
I feel helpless. I don't have a mama either, but I understand him. My mom died June 25th,
second, Mr.
Let's take a 10-minute break.
We'll take a little break.
Now, I just want to say this to you all. Go check on your men folk. Go check on your sons. Check on your brothers, your cousins, your nephews, your friends, your play brothers, your play cousins, your ex-boyfriends, your husbands. Go check on your grandfathers, your fathers. Because what I have been finding is that men, this is very overwhelming for men, and it's taking a toll on them. They need to talk. They don't need you to prick. They don't need you to pry. They just need to have someone to just listen to them. So this bothers me when I see this man crying. And then I didn't even pull up the one where the 18-year-old, at that time, he was 17, 18-year-old, the young man that called the police on Mr. Floyd, and he is going to be wrecked for the rest of his life. Come on, y'all. So listen, we can't, as African Americans in this country, as Caucasian Americans, as Jewish Americans, whatever you address yourself as, we can no longer be quiet and sit and act like nothing is going on. You know what I mean? What we tend to do, I heard Uncle Joe Madison make this statement. Where are the churches? Where are the churches that are having these conversations about the senseless crimes that's going on in this community, in our communities? They want us to come and listen. I'm not talking against the church, and I don't hate on the church. I want you to understand that, but I want you to hear what I'm saying. Where are they? They still doing the same things. They still eating and drinking and being merry, and people out here are dying. That's the end of my commentation on that. So anyway, we're going to take a minute for some commercial breaks. When we come back, we're going to talk about pepper spray, Pat Robertson, and Miss Kim Porter. Be right back.
Hello, my name is Diane Kelly. I'm the founder and director of Felsher Tutoring Services. We offer tutoring services for medical assistant. Here is what we do.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. We are FTS certified.
Barricades, fences, and around-the-clock police presence surround the home of former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter.
I thought, what in the world happened now?
At first, It prompted confusion for neighbors like Luann.
I walked down the street and then I saw the fence and I saw the barricades and I thought, oh, this is where she lives.
In light of the recent events, police posted on Facebook that they, quote, will be in contact with the neighborhood and the residents that have the highest likelihood of encountering protests.
The neighbors were talking and, everybody was on edge.
So far, things have remained calm. Neighbor Tom McGuire says he appreciates the communication from city leaders and talked about the heightened security.
Well, I was surprised. It just seems like there's a lot of protection, but like I said earlier, I don't know what I don't know. Face value, it seems like overkill, but there could be things behind the scenes I don't know about.
Here you can see Justice for Dante written in chalk just outside the home, and we also heard from one angry driver criticizing the added police presence.
Why? You protect murderers.
With no parking signs lining the neighborhood, Luann believes this could be doing more harm than good.
I am not real comfortable with that being done. I know that she needs protection, but it's kind of like letting everybody know this is her house or her family's house.
I contacted Champlin Police about how long they'll be set up here and how much this will cost the city, and I never heard back. But it's another difficult reminder for the folks who live around here.
I'm very sad that it's happened.
Definitely a tragedy on both sides.
Brett Hoffland, 5 Eyewitness News.
Well, welcome back to JTOL TV. I just showed you a clip of Kim Porter and the policewoman who said that she accidentally shot a young man in Minnesota. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. And it amazed me. Remember I told y'all about white girl tears and how white Caucasian people will jump to the aid of a Caucasian woman if she's crying, right? Remember I told you that they pulled out no stop to protect this woman. They put up, now mind you, she's not even there. Her and her family are not there. They put up a barricade. They put up a fence to protect this woman, right? And just in Detroit, there was a man who killed a police officer. I think he was either her husband or they used to date or they were kicking. But in any case, the judge let him out, right? They let him out. He killed a police officer, a black African American female cop. They didn't do anything. They just let him out. There's no barricades around her house. Can I say there's nothing protecting her? There's nothing that's looking out for her as a woman. Now her family's in fear that he's going to come after them. Their children, they're all living in fear. They don't have no protection. But here's this woman who's a 26-year-old veteran. Did I make that? Am I correct? She's a 26-year. Same thing happened with Amber, huh? She's a 26-year-old veteran, and she don't know the difference between a gun and a taser. But this is the stuff I'm talking about, cops, policemen. And I want to say this, that it's not all cops. It only, as the Osmond used to say, one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl. I don't care what they say. I'm sorry, I got in my Osmond mood. But it only takes one bad apple to make the whole bunch look bad. I don't believe all cops are like this. I don't. I believe that there are more good cops than there are bad cops. But it's always the bad ones that get the attention, just like in African-American communities. There are 95% of good people that want the same thing as any other American in this country. But it's only 5% that makes the statement that makes the whole bunch look bad, right? And so here's what I'm saying is, here's this woman, she's 26-year veteran, a trainer. Hear me? She's a teacher. She takes her gun, and this is how they set them up. This is what I'll tell you how they be talking. I feared for my life. I feared that this 2-foot African and black man was going to beat my 6-foot, 250-pound, trained in black belt karate. He was going to, I feared for my life, right? So here's this woman. I believe she knew exactly what she was doing. She said taser, right? She knew it was a gun. She knew exactly what she was doing. And then she quit so she can keep her pension and that she may go to another police department. We need some reform in place for officers like her, not the good cops, but for like her can never work in the police department again unless they get some type of training and valid proof that they have got this together in their perception. How you gonna kill this little 20-year-old, 1-year-old boy over some doggone because he had expired tags? Now you all know that the Secretary of State, I know here in Michigan, you have to make an appointment, and they were very lax on giving, allowing people to get their tags. So why were they tripping on him? Again, you got all these officers pulling up on this boy. We teach our boys already to beware and how to act in front of cops, because we know if you sneeze, they're gonna shoot you. If you look and turn your head before they tell you can turn your head, they're gonna shoot you, right? You know this. And again, I want to say it's not all the cops. Oh, I forgot what I meant to show you. I'm gonna have to pull that up. I want to show y'all something else. I'll show y'all that at the end. So, and right, Michelle, I believe Kim was lying. Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely, Crystal. I'm sorry, I'm reading these comments. So anyway, so I wanted to show you that, and just to show you how America still protects the white woman. We saw it with Emmett Till. We see it with this young man. We saw it in every case. We saw it with the woman in New York who was she was a liberal. She voted Democrat. She worked on all of the Obama campaigns. But the moment that black man who was a teacher at Princeton, I think, or Harvard, or Columbia, some prestigious Ivy school, told her to put her mutt on a leash, she started saying, I'm going to call the police and say, you threatened me. Because she didn't want to follow orders. So she still had that mindset. She still believed that, right? Anyway, let me just move on to the next one. So we can see that, and again, listen, I do respect police officers. Why? Because I keep telling you, my dad, right? And so I respect that order and that authority. But again, it only takes one bad apple to make the whole bunch look bad. You know what I mean? And so here we go again. Here's this man serving our country. And then all of a sudden, this is what happened.
A police officer in Virginia has now been fired after he pepper sprayed a black and Latino Army officer during a traffic stop. The officer's name is Joe Gutierrez. You see him here on the left, pepper spraying the Army Lieutenant Colonel Karen Nazario and yelling at him to get out of the car. Nazario sued the Windsor Police Department earlier this month, arguing the officers racially profiled him and used excessive force. City officials say an internal investigation found Gutierrez did not follow the department's policies. The second officer involved in the traffic stop is still on the force. And the video is, well, here's NBC's Sam Brock.
The initial call for a felony traffic stop immediately turned tense, with officers pulling their weapons.
Put your hands out the window!
A Windsor police officer says in his report he spotted a vehicle with dark-tinted windows and no license plate displayed that was eluding police. Though a lawsuit says a paper license plate was visible in the rear window of the new car.
How many occupants are in the vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
The two officers demanding U.S. Army Lieutenant Karen Nazario exit the SUV as the officer's body cameras and Nazario's cell phone were all rolling.
What's going on?
Now!
Nazario, who is black and Latino and was wearing his military uniform, asks repeatedly why he's being detained.
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated.
One of the responding officers appears to make a reference to the electric chair, according to the lawsuit.
What's going on? You're fixing to ride the lightning, son.
And then this exchange.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I?
Yeah, you should be. Get out. Back up.
Whoa, Officer Joe Gutierrez then pepper sprays Nazario in the face.
Hold on.
That's up.
Overnight in a statement, the town acknowledged the unfortunate events. Officer Gutierrez has since been terminated by the Windsor Police. Now a civil suit alleging a violation of constitutional rights.
My client wants to prevent those two officers from doing it to anyone else.
Nazario admits in his complaint that he didn't immediately pull over, driving nearly 2 minutes with his hazard lights on so he could stop at a well-lit gas station. In a report, one of the responding officers writes, "The driver was actively resisting. When I attempted to unlock and open the driver's door, the driver assaulted myself by striking my hand away."
The Supreme Court has held since 1977 that even for a routine traffic stop, officers have the power and the discretion to order a driver out of the car.
For the news, I'm Sam Brock.
Shepard Smith here.
So, can I just ask something? How come he just can't? Why do they always have to say that he was Latino and black? Why does that matter, right? What does it matter? Because in reality, I wouldn't care. Like, y'all remember Tiger Woods said he was Cabanese, but on that police report, I bet they put black, right? So why is it important that they make these things? But anyway, that's another subject, another town hall to have that discussion. So here's this man serving our country, minding his business, riding with he got that truck. I think he had a Delani, whatever, Yukon's a big truck, right? Minding his business. And yet they still felt that they still had more authority to treat him like he was going crazy, right? Like he didn't mean anything. And I want to say this, they say that this man is a medic and he served overseas in theater in those wars. So that means he was out in the field when people's legs and guts and eyeballs and arms and things were not there, and putting them back together, sewing them up and bringing them back to the medical unit. And here he comes to this country. So I wonder about, he wasn't used to nothing. This cop probably ain't never did none of that all his life, right? Here's this guy serving our country, got his truck, happy, finally making enough money where he can afford it, right? Going home to his family, and then you meet Abbott and Costello. Man, and you know, can I say something? It's usually always, well, I ain't gonna say that, but you always find it to be the white men who have this Caucasian older white man who believe in this society that we can do what we want to do. We like the things the way they were. We don't want everything. We don't want nothing change. We want them Nimroms, them ninjas, to continue to serve and to serve us, right? We want them to be what we want them to be. We don't want them to change. You know, we want to still be the power in this country. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is this, the reason why they still want it, because this country, this world is becoming a multicultural world, right? Multinational. And so for some reason, I don't care what nationality comes into this country, they still feel, because of the mindsets of this country, that they can treat African Americans any way they want. And I must say this, y'all, when we start pulling back our money, that's when they hear us. We ain't got to march. We ain't got to say one word. All we got to do is selectively purchase what we want. We don't have to buy Coke. We can buy Pepsi, right? We don't have to shop at Home Depot. We can go right around the corner to Lowe's, right? We don't have to support General Motors. We got Chrysler, Chevy, BMW, yep, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus. What's the other, the one car I'm really thinking about getting, a Porsche? We got all those other folks that we can selectively buy from. And let me just put something there. The GOP here in the state of Michigan call it securing the election. That's their term for it, to make everybody realize that they're not voter suppressing the vote, right? So voting suppressing in urban areas, stopping us from voting. So here's what I want to say to you all. In the city of Detroit and in the state of Michigan, I saw that GM said something. I saw that Quicken Loans guy who called, what did he call? He called LeBron James the N-word, I believe, allegedly. I think when LeBron James left, right? Y'all remember when LeBron James left Cleveland? And so we have that, and then we have some big cheeses up in here. Beaumont Hospital, Henry Ford Hospital. We have Ford Motor Company. And I'm gonna say this. We need to hear your voices a little bit louder, because if not, we're gonna do some selective shopping. We need to listen. They're not hearing our voices. So let other things talk our money. Let our money speak for us. We don't have to fight. We don't have to do any of this stuff. Our money has a language. Our money knows every language out here in these here streets. That's all we got to do. We ain't got to say no. We just got to submit the money. Am I right? Am I right about it? So listen, you go and check your state houses and find out if it's led by GOPs, because if it is, because it's 43, I think it's 43 to 47 of these particular GOP-led states and cities are putting in voter suppression laws, which they call securing and tightening the vote. But you know what it is. It's another poll tax. If they're doing it, you find out which companies are supporting the GOPs, and then you write them and say, hey, I understand that you support Matt John. If you support Matt John, I will selectively choose not to buy your product. And not only that, did I tell you that I have a large Facebook and Instagram and YouTube following? And if I selectively choose not to purchase your product, I'm surely going to let them know why I'm not selectively buying your product, and tell them to buy the other product, your competitor. Now listen, we know that people of color, African Americans, are the #1 consumers in the country. They don't want us to stop buying, so they'll hear your voice. Hey, man. So listen, getting back to what we were talking about in these videos, and we're consistently seeing the disrespect and the degradation of how they treat people of color. So here, I'm gonna play one more commercial, and then we're gonna come to a couple of more videos, and then we're gonna get back to having these conversations. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about Pat Robertson. We're gonna talk about and I got a special video to show you. Hold on. We'll be right back. This is JTOL TV. Welcome back to JTOL TV, where I am your host, Sonia Green. And as we always say, if we're thinking about it, why aren't we talking about it? Then listen, this lovely, beautiful shirt, I Just Want to Breathe. You can get that shirt at Liberty-Dallas on our website.com and purchase this shirt. And it's just, this is what the Lord had gave me. I just want to breathe. And as you can see, the tears, some shirts have red teardrops coming down. And this is a man, he's tired. Not only is he tired, but he's crying out to the Lord, I just want to breathe. So, hey, go and get those shirts. Liberty-Dallas.com and get your shirt, I Just Want to Breathe. And also, too, listen, I got this wonderful, I'm gonna get some, is one of my shirts says, listen, mind your own business, because mine is closed. So what's up? So if you mind, all of this stuff is wonderful on Liberty-Dallas.com. Please go and support us. We got great things coming out. We got our We Are Detroit line, which should be out in about June, and hopefully you guys will support that. But anyway, getting back to our show. So we're on our last clips, and I just want to show you this wonderful thing that Mr. Pat Robertson said. Can you believe it? Hold on.
Also, I'm going to say, I think a lot of people are thinking like I was, that both the gun and the taser would be put on your dominant side, but it's not that way.
Yeah, but they have to cross where they have them different.
So you actually have to reach across yourself to
you
get
feel
the
the
taser.
difference. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's definitely
there's just no
discernible.
comparison. As I say, they're not making tasers in this yellow color anymore. They're making in black. They're making them yellow. Now, how she made the difference was she shot that poor guy to death, saying, "This is what I thought. I thought was my taser." And if you can't tell the difference in the feel of those things, it's crazy. Anyhow, she deserves. But I am pro-police, folks. I think we need the police. We need their servants, and they do a good job. But if they don't stop this onslaught, they cannot do this. The police in Virginia picked up a lieutenant in the Army and began to give him trouble. And our state police are highly trained. But why they don't stop this? And this thing is going on in Minnesota, but the Derek Chauvin, I mean, they ought to put him under the jail. He has caused so much trouble by kneeling on the death of George Floyd. It's just, on his neck. It's just terrible what's happening. And the police, why don't they open their eyes to what the public relations are? They've got to stop this stuff.
Maybe they need more training.
All right, I didn't mean, I thought I showed you I thought I cut that portion out, but anyway. So anyway, I wanted to show you Pat Robertson. Can you believe Pat Robertson? Can y'all believe Pat Robertson? I just want to say, was that really Pat Robertson? Is this the same cat that was talking about we cheated in the elections? And then he called us everything but a child of God. He said there was fraud in the urban area. Is this the same Pat Robertson? Is that him? Listen, I don't believe it. God, listen, he had to have an epiphany from the Lord. Wait a minute. I just can't believe that this is Pat Robertson. Did Pat Robertson actually say, y'all need to stop killing African-American men? Did Pat Robertson really say that? I'm sorry. I just can't believe it. Listen, I don't even think it looks like Pat Robertson. It must have been a twin. He must have been cloned. I'm sorry. I just can't believe it's Pat Robertson. I can't believe that Pat Robertson said that. The same guy that said that we were cheating, right? We were cheating. Is that the same? Come on, y'all. Somebody please tell me the truth. Was that Pat Robertson? What happened that day? What happened? Did he pray? Did he have an encounter? Did the Ruach HaKodesh come in and rap with him and talk with him? What happened that day? Did he meet somebody? He must have got a good settlement. Something had that. Did he read his word? Did he pray? I don't know, because normally he never talks like this. And I'm just really shocked by it. I'm just really, really Shocked by it. But I want to share this with you before we leave up out of this joint. So if you could just hold on for a minute, I want to show you something. Just bear with me one second.
What's up, people? BLM, how you doing? Let me tell you a little something. Chauvin case. Innocent, guilty. Man, I really don't give a flying fuck. But there's two different things from last summer to this summer. Last summer there was an election. This summer there is not. Riot, steal, shoot, rob, kill. You do your thing. Because we're coming this time. Arm up. Stay safe.
So, what y'all think of that? What y'all think of that? So we know that since they did not call the Boogaloo Boys and what is the other group? What's the other terrorist group? Lord help me, bring back the name of that group. Proud Boys and all these other terrorist groups, we realized that they didn't say anything about them. What began to happen is that they felt that they had the right to kill us, shoot us, and nothing will happen to them. And so far, it seems to be true. Now, I'm not saying anyone to go out here and get any guns. I am not a gun person. Hear me what I'm saying. I am not a gun person. But you probably need to just watch, be careful out here. Watch your back, look around your surroundings. Make sure when you go on your job, just because you've eaten with them every day, sat with them every day, they wouldn't have a problem about putting a bullet in your head, shooting you and killing you. So what I'm saying is, I hear you, sis. I'm not advocating any violence, but protect yourself. I have taken gun lessons, and but I still don't like guns. That's just not me. Even though my dad was a cop, that's just not who I am. And but you ain't gonna catch me sleeping either. Let me just make that clear. You not gonna catch me sleeping. Let me just make that clear. So, protect yourselves. Watch your surroundings. When you go out your house, check your house, especially if you live in a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood. Watch your house, watch your surroundings. If you go into some of these communities, watch your house, look at your surroundings, just making sure. I'm not saying that listen, it only takes one bad apple to ruin the whole bunch. And it may just be your day to run up on a bad apple, right? So just be careful. Get off your phones. Take your phone, leave one ear open so you can hear what's going around, so nobody won't creep up on you, right? Nobody won't sneak up on you. Be careful out here, because even though we're born in this country, even though they say that we are loved in this country and all rights protect us, guess what? We have known long enough to know, we've been here long enough to know that that's not true. Even though Joe Biden is in the White House, and I just want to make this statement, even though that they are beating up on these Asian people, which I totally don't disagree, but I've been seeing more stuff out here to support and protect Asians, and we've been here 950,000 years, and we still haven't got anything from Joe Biden, at least what we've seen. I'm going to say that I haven't seen anything. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not saying we haven't. Anything out there to support us and protect us, right? They terrorized the Capitol, our own Capitol, and none of them, they're not in jail. Nothing happened. So we have to be vigilant about who we are. We have to be know that in this country, that this is America's greatest original sin. And until they reckon with it, the enemy always will use it as a battering ram against this country. Oh, come on, Erica. Erica said that's because the diplomats got folks behind them. So again, I want to, and I feel you. I feel you on that, Erica. And again, I want to say to you, listen, we do not have to be quiet. What bothers me is this, that we're so quiet. And that's why they think it's okay to treat us any type of way. That's why if our men don't stand up for us, that's why they treat the women that way. When we don't have, when our so-called leaders don't speak, and our church leaders, they rather worry about their 501c and then instead of speaking up for all of the people that are dying out in here on these streets. So listen, I'm just saying to you all, please don't get comfortable. Don't rest up. Keep your ears up. Teach your ears how to listen. Listen, hear, train, talk to your children. Because as before, we've always had to protect ourselves. And we're going to continue to have to protect ourselves. And I just want to say to you all, remember this one thing. Did I keep it? I bet I didn't keep it. Nope, I sure didn't. I wanted to show you this one video, but I didn't keep it. But you all be encouraged and know we got something still that they don't got. We got Christ and his Holy Spirit. That's right. Stay woke. We got prayer. We got those things that they don't have to protect us and keep us safe from all harm, hurt, and danger. And I just want to say to you all, thank you all for rocking with me on JTOL TV, where I am your host, Sonia Green. Listen, thank you for being part of be part of the community of conversation. Go and like, and if you got a Roku TV, go like JTOL TV. Just go and like it. Go and like it. Add it to your Roku stations. We're going to be coming with some great content. Just bear with us. And again, I want to say to you again, go to Liberty Dallas and support these commercials that we bring to you. Go to libertydallas.com and purchase one of these t-shirts and purchase some of the t-shirts on there. And listen, again, you be the voice for change. You be the one that changed the narrative, right? You be the one that make a difference in your household. You be the one that teach about our history and the things that's going on. And I want to say, as we always say, if you're thinking about it, why aren't we talking about it? I am Sonia Green, and I am your host for JTOL TV Talk. You have a great day and a great night. God bless.
Join us here next time on JTOL, Just Thinking Out Loud, where we ask and answer questions